Hey, James. So you mentioned this story about Jesus in a storm. I'm really curious. What's the whole setup there? Like, where did it all even start?
Ah, Emma, yes, absolutely. It's a brilliant account, really. You find it actually in the three synoptic Gospels, Matthew, Mark, and Luke. So picture this. Jesus had been teaching, right, near the Sea of Galilee, a really bustling place. And, after all that, he just wanted a bit of a break, a respite from the crowds. So he decides to take a boat with the apostles to the opposite shore, somewhere a bit quieter, away from the big towns. And what happens? Not long after they set sail, Jesus, well, he actually falls asleep. And then this huge storm just arises.
He fell asleep? Wow. And a storm just brews up out of nowhere while he's, like, napping? That's interesting.
Exactly. And this is where actually, Emma, we see two really important points, I think, about Christ's true humanity. First off, he needed rest. He needed time away from those crowds. And secondly, he was so absolutely exhausted that even with the boat being battered by this storm, it didn't wake him up. Matthew 8:24 mentions it. These are such fundamental truths. They help us grasp that Jesus was genuinely human, just like us, with the same basic needs. And that actually is part of what qualifies him to be our merciful intercessor between us and God the Father, which Hebrews 2:17 talks about.
Okay, so Jesus is genuinely human, needing rest, sleeping soundly even as the storm is brewing. But what about the apostles? Weren't many of them seasoned fishermen? Surely they'd faced storms before.
Precisely, Emma. Many were indeed experienced fishermen, very familiar with Galilee's sudden squalls. Yet Luke 8:24 describes waves breaking into the boat, filling it. They genuinely feared for their lives. And Jesus, still in the stern, asleep on a cushion.
Wow, so these experienced guys are panicking, the boat's filling up, and he's still asleep? That's some serious deep sleep.
It truly is. His sleep was profoundly deep, a testament to his complete trust, undisturbed even as the boat swamped around him. Only when they roused him in desperation did he strikingly ask, "Have you still no faith?" Mark 4:40, a powerful question.
Right. Have you still no faith? That's pretty direct. I guess it must have stung. Right. Have you still no faith? That's pretty direct. I guess it must have stung. But also, it kind of feels like something I might hear, if I were in that situation. It's relatable.
Absolutely, Emma. It's incredibly relatable. And you've hit on such an important point there. The apostles' lack of faith, it serves as a powerful reminder, doesn't it? Even those who lived and walked with Jesus, saw his miracles firsthand, heard his message directly, they still found it difficult to be 100% faith-filled all the time. In that respect, the disciples were, a lot like us, weren't they? We all struggle sometimes.
Yeah. I think a lot of people can identify with that. It's hard to always be, completely steadfast, especially when things are going, really, really bad.
Precisely. And here's the kicker. Their lack of faith was rebuked, and by extension, so is ours. It's a challenge to us too. But the immensely comforting part is this. If Jesus was able to rescue the apostles from that literal terrifying storm, he is absolutely able to rescue us from the storms of our everyday lives. And I mean all kinds of storms, Things like sickness, job loss, marriage problems, even the sting of death, which 1 Corinthians 15:55 speaks about. He's there for it all.
That's incredibly reassuring, James, knowing he's there for us through all those different kinds of life storms. But it brings up a thought. If Jesus is truly all-knowing, did he actually know that specific storm was coming before they even set sail?
Emma, that's an exceptionally sharp question, and the answer is a resolute yes. Matthew 8:18 tells us Jesus gave orders to go over to the other side. He absolutely knew the storm was coming. His omniscience, affirmed in John 2:25, means he made a conscious decision to enter that challenging situation.
Wow, so he knew and still directed them into it? That's a powerful statement in itself. It's almost like he was completely unfazed by it.
Precisely. He was entirely unafraid, and crucially, he never promised us a storm-free life. John 16:33 warns us to expect trouble.
Yet his unwavering promise, reinforced by Deuteronomy 31:8, is his constant presence in the storm. He will never abandon us in our trials. With him by our side, we will endure and overcome.
Okay, so he's with us in the storm and he knew it was coming, but how did he, actually stop it? I mean, a storm is a storm, right? You can't just wave your hand and make it stop.
Well, Emma, this is where the passage not only reveals Jesus' true humanity, as we've discussed, but also absolutely undeniably Jesus' deity. Because you're right, only God can command the elements. Only God can make the winds and water obey, as Luke 8:25 puts it. And that's exactly what happened. With one quick word from Christ, literally just a word, the storm immediately abated and the sea became calm. Mark 4:39 is quite stark in its description.
Wait, just one word and it just stopped? That's incredible. I mean, you can't argue with that kind of power.
You really can't. And the apostles, they were absolutely marveling at this. They were just astounded by this powerful display of Jesus' supernatural ability over the elements. Luke 8:25 again. And this, for us, for Christians in a storm today, it can be immensely comforting. You know, faith in Christ is never ever misplaced. If he can calm the storms of the sea with one word, well, he can calm the storms of life too. It's a powerful message, really. If you've gotten any value from these short lessons, share and comment. We'll see you on the next video.